Hello, I'm Michael Gross. The B&O Railroad Museum is located on the first mile of commercial railroad right-of-way in America, where the museum now runs seasonal train rides for its visitors. The cornerstone of the B&O Railroad was laid here on July 4, 1828. 8 years after laying the first stone, this pioneering railroad completed and operated the only railroad tracks leading into the nation's capital. They maintained that exclusive right-of-way until the early 1870s.
In 1833, the B&O received permission from the state of Maryland to build a branch line from Baltimore to the city of Washington. Known as the Washington Branch, it was completed and opened for regular service on April 25, 1835. The Washington Branch diverged from the B&O's main line at Relay, Maryland, crossing over the Patapsco River on the majestic Thomas Viaduct, and continued 31 miles to the end of the line, where a station was built near the site of the U.S. Capitol building on Pennsylvania Avenue. When opened, portions of the line consisted of a single track with double track at certain areas to allow for increased traffic. Eventually, the line was double-tracked for its entire length. Passenger travel to the nation's capital quickly proved profitable, and the Washington Branch consistently turned significant profits throughout the mid-19th century. In 1840, railroad service opened to Maryland's capital, Annapolis, via the Annapolis and Elk Ridge Railroad at the B&O's Annapolis Junction Station. Other areas served included Jessup, Savage, Laurel, Beltsville, and Bladensburg. What significance did the B&O's Washington Branch have in the Civil War? Find out next.
Thomas the Tank Engine's visiting B&O Railroad Museum. Kids of all ages can enjoy a ride with Thomas the Tank Engine and meet Sir Topham Hatt. There'll be storytelling, live entertainment, and much, much more. Don't miss Day Out with Thomas, the leader of the track tour.
I've been working on the railroad.
I've been working on the railroad all the livelong day. I've been working on the railroad just to pass the time away. Can you hear the whistle blowing? Rise up so early in the morn. Can you hear the
During the Civil War, the Washington Branch provided the only route by rail to Washington. In 1861, critical troop movements over the line helped secure the city, and the route was heavily guarded for the duration of the war. By war's end, hundreds of thousands of soldiers, millions of tons of freight, military material, generals, politicians, and President Abraham Lincoln traveled along this important route supporting the Northern War effort. In 1866, the B&O began construction of the Metropolitan Branch west out of Washington, D.C., and it was completed in 1873. Prior to the Metropolitan Branch, rail traffic to Washington had to travel north before heading south. The Metropolitan Branch cut a more or less straight line from Washington out west to Points West, Maryland. The B&O Railroad held an iron grip on the exclusive right-of-way into the nation's capital until July 25, 1873, when the Pennsylvania Railroad, through a series of acquisitions and leases, was able to establish a through line from New York to Washington, D.C.
Both railroad routes are still in use by thousands of commuters daily. I'm Michael Gross. Thanks for watching the B&O Railroad Museum Television Network.
Interested in learning more about the B&O Railroad Museum in Ellicott City Station? Follow us on Facebook and Twitter with daily updates on upcoming events, coupons, photographs, history, and things to do in Baltimore. You'll never be off track.